Now joining the show, Notre Dame star running back Jeremiyah Love. I have to say, folks, this is a pretty special one for me, having covered this young man's recruitment and now seeing the type of football player that he's developed for the University of Notre Dame. Jeremiyah, I want to start us off with this. Remembering back to your recruitments, I remember at the time, and I think your dad may have filled me in on this on the way too, your heavy interest in comics and different animes and all that type of stuff in your background. So I want to start us off with an off the field question, the love for comic books. And I would love you to be able to talk about maybe the project that you're working on now and just kind of give the folks some context on it.
Okay. We'll just start off like this. So growing up, I grew up on anime. I grew up loving, the Marvel and DC universe, and my love for that has kind of like grown ever since I was a kid. And it was late in high school where me and my dad, got together, and he was thinking about ways, create, our own avenues for, NIL and stuff like that. And my dad came up with the idea of to create like a comic or like tell my story in like a fun way. And I love the idea like immediately because like I love anime, I love comics, I love like the just the superhero type stuff, and fell in love with the idea. Worked we've been through a lot of ups and downs, when it comes to trying to produce this thing and get people that we can trust to help work on it. It's been about like 4 years. So love stems from me growing up on anime and stuff like that. And, my dad, being the brainiac that he is, decided to, why not, connect that with like my own football journey and just life in general.
So give us a quick insight into Jeremiyah Star then. I know it's going to be released soon. Just, you mentioned already, it's a creation of your life. Like, you are a comic book man. So I want to hear about just how excited you are for that to be available to all the Notre Dame fans, but just people in general get to enjoy that.
Yeah, so Jeremiyah Star comes out in September. I'm very excited to, get the comic out there because it's been in the works for 4 years. And, I love comics, I love anime, I love manga, whatever it may be. I love it. And, I'm just excited to, bring to people something that really, that I'm very interested in. I want to connect with the type of people that, love football, but also, are interested in, the superhero stuff, comics, DC, Marvel, whatever it may be. I just want to give kids a way to, gain more knowledge about football too. That's one thing about the comic. It's a way for kids to try and learn those core values, like what it takes to be successful in whatever you want to do in life. It could be sports, it could be in school, or whatever it be. So want to teach kids, you got to be consistent, you got to be dedicated. Just got to be D3, as you could say, disciplined and all that type of stuff. I say D3 because Coach McCullough, his big thing was D3.
Jeremiyah, what's funny is, not to cut you off, but I actually ran into Coach McCullough at the Combine this year. He was down there obviously with the Raiders now, and had a little conversation about you, man. Just everything and the relationship you have. So it was just cool to hear you kind of refer back to Coach McCullough. I know he was a big part of your life, obviously.
Yeah, but back to the comic.
Yeah.
Also, the comic is, I think it's a very big idea. To we're gonna kind of create our own athletes universe. Like how Marvel and DC have their universe. We're gonna create like a respective athletes universe. It's not just gonna be me. That could be in that universe telling my story, but we can also branch it off to other athletes. To tell their story. It can be in basketball, track, soccer, whatever it may be. Just tell their story and, bring everybody into the, athletes universe. So I think it's like something that can be really, really big. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really excited for when this launches. This seems like it's going to be really, really fun. I'm a superhero guy myself, so I'm definitely going to tap in. But to talk a little bit more about your journey to the football field and all the exciting things you do for the University of Notre Dame, it all started with the decision that you made 3 years ago to pick Notre Dame. How has maybe the driving forces for that decision, why you picked ND, how has that lived up to those expectations to the current day? What have you gotten out of the Notre Dame experience?
Okay. Coming into, basically my decision to go to Notre Dame was like, it stemmed from, I wanted to, find a place that was like kind of, I had that like family fit, find a place where I can like, really just take a step and just sit down and grind and be where I'm supposed to be academically, but also, take my, athletic prowess to the next level. And Notre Dame was just a place for me. And ever since I've been here, I've been doing exactly that. I've encountered some great people, I've encountered some great coaches. They've instilled values in me of hard work, choosing hard, not, doing the easy things, because if you're doing something easy, it's probably not good for you. And I've met some of the best people at Notre Dame, some of the nicest, most down to earth type people, but also people that's on their stuff, grinding to, get to where they want to be in life, which, in turn, inspires me to, do the same. But I've definitely been getting everything that I, searched for out of Notre Dame. Been getting the academics, been getting the sports, been getting the coaching, been getting to meet new people. So I would say it was a very good decision. I can't imagine myself anywhere else right now. So I'm very happy with my decision to come to Notre Dame. And, I'm just looking forward to, getting to get more out of the school, but also, give to them as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've given so much to the school already, Jeremiyah. And for people that haven't maybe watched this channel before, me and Joe are both massive Notre Dame fans. We've been Notre Dame fans our entire life. You get to live a dream every Saturday when you walk out of that tunnel, you hit the play like a champion sign, and you get to play in Notre Dame Stadium. I would love to ask just about that. Still, even going into year 3, you've been doing this for 2 years now. What does that moment feel like for you, walking out of that tunnel, touching the sign, and getting to play in front of all those amazing fans every Saturday?
For me, it's kind of become ingrained to my pregame ritual. It's just I'm a part of, the rich history of Notre Dame. There's been plenty of great, players that have, walked down those locker room stairs and, were able to touch that sign, or if we're at away games, being able to touch that sign and go and, go out on the field and play. But it means a lot to me now. I want to play like a champion every day, or whatever it may be. Off the field, on the field, I want to be a champion. So it means a lot to me just being able to be a part of the, rich Notre Dame history. But, also, just go out there and ball out. But yeah, if I didn't, I feel like now if I didn't, partake in that, that little pregame ritual, it would just feel weird, it just feel weird because I've been doing it for 3 years now, or going on to 3 years now. So
love that. How's your offseason been going? And maybe what are some of the things that you've been focusing on and working on to get ready for this upcoming year?
My offseason's been going really good. I've been, just training as usual. Whenever I'm home, I'm either training or, just hanging out with people that I don't get to see often. But the summer's been pretty like every other summer, just training. I've been working on, my knowledge of the game more, because I feel like I got my weight up. I'm about 215 right now. Possibly could be 218 by the season, but we're gonna take that slow, that process slow. But I've been training, been studying. Yeah, just the summers has been the summer. The summer's always a chill time and always a time to, be able to just better myself. I've also been doing a lot of business stuff, which comes with the popularity, I guess. Never was the type to, be engulfed in all this stuff, but I recently signed a deal with New Balance. Got
nice.
Many of other deals that, I'm going to sign. They're just in the works right now, contract stuff, all that stuff. But the summer's been the summer. I've been grinding, chilling, trying to enjoy myself, doing business stuff, basically everything.
Yeah. Well, my last question for you, Jeremiyah, before we wrap up here is, you mentioned, and I think that this is great to have you on because everybody knows how great of a football player you are, obviously, right? They can watch the long run against Indiana. They can watch the short touchdown run against Penn State. They can see you hurdling over dudes each and every week. They know. But this is more about Jeremiyah the person, right? Which is why we want to start out with the comic and all that stuff you're doing there. From the student side, because I know being a student and academics was a huge part of your decision to come to Notre Dame originally. How has just been the student side of the student-athlete conversation been? What have you been studying, and how excited are you for just kind of developing that side of your professional career down the road?
Well, yeah, so I'm a psychology major right now. Being an athlete and being a student is hard, especially at Notre Dame. Like, there's definitely been some, tough times in the academic world, but, I just got to do the work, be present, have perseverance. Like, it's hard, but I've been enjoying, every step of the way. I've gotten to meet great professors, gotten to, make friends with some classmates, and, it's been a challenge, but I've been enjoying it. I love psychology. I originally wanted to do like something like bio and stuff like that, but it just didn't pair well with football. So had to, choose a little bit of an easy route, but nothing's really easy at Notre Dame. Like, everything is challenging. You're going to go through stuff at whatever major you are. But the schooling's been great. I've always liked school. Well, not true. That's not true at all. But like in high school, school was more appealing to me. And even now in college, like I like school, but I'm not the type of person to just want to sit in class all day. But I love to learn. Yeah, school's been great. Met some great people. Notre Dame is just the perfect place: sports, academics, people, the big three, basically.
Well, and that's all we have for you, Jeremiyah. For the people out there, again, Jeremiah dropping in September. Make sure that you're supporting. We on the channel are going to be able to drop links to that when the official release date is out there. Jeremiyah, I appreciate you so much for hopping on, man. I know this has been chaotic. We're literally catching you after you throwing out a first pitch, doing photo shoots. You've been all over the place, man. But thank you so much for your time today. We do appreciate it.